For decades, the Apollo 11 mission, humanity's monumental leap to the moon, has been shrouded in a persistent question: was it all a meticulously staged hoax? Despite overwhelming evidence, a vocal segment of the public believes NASA faked the moon landing to win the space race against the Soviet Union. These theories often highlight perceived anomalies in photographs and videos from the mission, presenting them as undeniable proof of fakery. One of the most iconic and debated images is the American flag appearing to wave on the airless lunar surface. Conspiracy theorists argue this is impossible in a vacuum, suggesting the presence of wind and implying the scene was filmed on Earth. However, the flag was specially designed with a telescoping pole and a horizontal rod to make it fly proudly, even without an atmosphere. Wrinkles from being packed for the journey also contributed to the illusion of waving, a simple explanation for a complex visual. Another common question is why stars are not visible in photographs taken from the moon, given the lack of atmospheric distortion. The argument posits that the lunar sky should be filled with stars, implying a studio setting where stars were omitted. Yet, the astronauts and lunar landscape were brightly lit by the sun, requiring cameras to be set for daylight exposure. This setting meant faint objects like distant stars simply didn't provide enough light to be captured, much like trying to photograph stars during daylight on Earth. Inconsistent shadows in Apollo 11 photographs also fuel skepticism, with some claiming they suggest multiple light sources in a studio. However, perspective and the uneven topography of the moon's surface can cause parallel lines to appear non-parallel in a two-dimensional image. This optical illusion is observable on Earth as well, debunking the idea of artificial studio lighting. A peculiar photograph showing a rock with the letter C on it led some to believe it was a prop accidentally labeled. NASA explained this C was likely a photographic glitch, such as a stray hair during development, or even a deliberate hoax added later. The absence of a blast crater beneath the lunar module upon landing is another point of contention for skeptics. However, the lunar module's descent engine dispersed its exhaust gases widely, preventing a concentrated crater. Furthermore, the lunar surface was already covered in a fine layer of dust and debris, which would have minimized any visible impact. A common question remains: if we landed on the moon in 1969, why haven't we returned since Apollo 17 in 1972? The reasons are primarily geopolitical and financial, not technological. The Apollo program was driven by the space race, and once the US won, public and political interest waned, shifting priorities. Despite persistent theories, a wealth of scientific evidence and independent confirmation supports the authenticity of the moon landings. The Apollo missions brought back 842 pounds of lunar rocks and soil, providing invaluable data about the moon's composition and history. High-definition images from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO, clearly show the Apollo landing sites, including descent stages and astronaut tracks. Laser-ranging retroreflectors installed by Apollo 11 are still operational, allowing scientists to measure the Earth-Moon distance with centimeter precision. Independent parties, including observers from other countries, tracked the Apollo missions, providing third-party verification. Lunar seismometers installed by Apollo missions transmitted data until 1977, recording moonquakes and meteoroid impacts. Moon landing conspiracy theories are often based on misunderstandings of physics, photography, and historical context. Overwhelming evidence, from lunar samples to independent observations, confirms that humans did indeed walk on the moon between 1969 and 1972. The Apollo program remains a remarkable achievement, a testament to human ingenuity and scientific progress, encouraging us all to think critically about the information we encounter.